Hello, everyone. Welcome to the How She Made It Summit, where we are talking about how to become a wealthy woman, what that really means, lifting the veil on money, wealth, health, all of it. And today we have the beautiful Beth Weinstein. Beth is a transformational business coach who helps current and aspiring entrepreneurs align with their true purpose, impact the world, make great money doing the work that they love from anywhere in the world. Beth, thank you so much for being here. I'm so excited to have you, despite the technical difficulties.
Yeah.
We've got you here, which is awesome. So why don't you just share about a little bit about you, obviously, and why you've created the business that you have now?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Tiffany. I love what you're doing, and I love having you on my recent interview series. So thanks for having me. So, as you said, I'm a transformational business coach, and I took up coaching because I've launched multiple businesses. And when I launched my last business, which is actually still up and running, about 4 or 5 years ago, I struggled. I mean, it was really hard. I wasted a lot of time and a lot of money, and I really don't want anybody making that mistake ever again. And there is a way to do this. There's a way to grow and make money and really follow your heart and do what you love and not struggle and really enjoy it and bring your gifts to the world. And that's what I help people with.
Yeah, I remember we really bonded because we're both runners and you have a power running company
Yeah.
as well.
Yep.
So I love that you have this experience and expertise in all these different businesses, and then you help, now you bring that to people to learn from your mistakes, which is so profound because I really believe you can study all the books in the world, but living life through experience is how you learn. And if you can learn from other people's mistakes, so be it, even better. So I know that you're very purpose driven because your recent, you recently interviewed me. So what's your vision for the world? Like, what would you love to see really come into this world?
Oh yeah, I get very passionate about this so much that sometimes it's like people are like, "Wow, you're passionate." But I truly believe that everybody really can and should be working from their heart, right? Like we're born with these deep, deep desires. I am literally doing what I dreamed of doing when I was 7 years old and what I used to play a make-believe game out of, like running a business and helping other people grow their businesses. And it only took me, 30 something years to get there and figure it out. But I really believe that everybody is capable of following their dreams. And I really want the world to shift into this, this way of living from, you know, prosperity from the heart, working from the heart, being in service to others. Because the reality is, it's what gets you out of bed in the morning. You get more and more motivated. Yeah, you know this. Like, I don't even feel like I'm working most of the time. I love my work so much that it's, it comes from here that it's just so natural. And I believe that anybody can have this. So my vision for the world is the more people we can help shift into this way of living and the way of doing work, first of all, the happier everybody will be, the more prosperous everybody will be. There'll be more abundance for everybody. I mean, it's like a massive domino effect. So the more people you reach, the more people I reach, the more people we reach together and collaborate, the more the whole world will change. So my vision is like super big. And then it's just how do you bring it back to, each and every client, each and every, woman or entrepreneur I deal with. So that's my big passion.
Yeah, and I totally relate. I love that you have a big vision because I believe the bigger the vision is, like you said, it helps us get out of bed in the morning every day. And that's what I help people with, like really connect with their vision, own their uniqueness so that we do similar work in different ways. Mine's more on the kind of avenue of branding and uniqueness and that sort of thing and putting a message around it. And you help them step into their really their true purpose. So what would you say to people that are like, I have all these dreams and desires, but I just don't know how to make that leap, or I don't feel confident, or it doesn't feel real or true for me. What would you say to those people?
Yeah, because I've been there, and in some ways I still go through it. Now I'm just better at going through that. It's really all about listening to what's really eating you alive. Like what is it inside your heart that you've been dreaming of? What is your passion all about? And really, I work with my clients in this way. I tell people to let go of this idea of making it into this huge business where they quit their jobs and drop everything. Because that day will come, and it's totally possible that comes. But if you really stay in the present moment as much as possible of, okay, what's the first thing I can do today to help bring this to reality? And I always tell people, and this is what shifted for me when I launched my running apparel business, when I changed the language from launching a business to starting a project, like that's what I was like, let me just do this as a project, like a fun project, and have no attachments to how it turns out. And when you let go of those attachments and you really just stay connected to the larger vision and the larger passion behind it, then you can just keep getting momentum. You can take the tiniest little step. And that's the number one piece of advice, is take the very first step. And if that is literally just like researching something on the internet, and that's it, and that's all you do in one day, that's fine. You know, if it's making a phone call and asking someone else how they did it, great. You know, if it's networking at an event, meeting some other entrepreneurs, that's, you know, and these things are not hard, and there's something anybody can do. And it's really like present moment step. You know, don't get caught up in the what happens, you know, 6 years from now, because who knows what'll happen, right?
Yeah, and then you just get overwhelmed.
Oh yeah.
That's so true. Just like take the pressure off yourself. And I say this all the time with my clients as well. Just one step at a time, one step at a time. Take the overwhelm out of it, because you can't get from A to Z without A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right?
Mm-hmm.
You always want to go straight to Z, or see like how big the vision is, and just like, oh my God, I can't do it. I love that. Take the pressure off and just one step at a time. Absolutely.
Exactly.
So what do you think? I mean, when we talk about wealthy, we often think about money, and I know it's often so much more around that. And you're very healthy, you're into health and fitness, all those sorts of things. So what do you think it really takes to be a wealthy woman?
Yeah, I mean, I know what you're getting at, because I talk about this all the time, that wealth is more than just the tangible money, right? Like the money's nice. Of course, we need the money to support our lifestyles. We need the money to reach more people. We need the money to change the world. You know, I really believe in the energy money thing. Like it's true. And I believe that we're all, you know, everybody is, you know, it's your birthright to be fairly compensated for your gifts. But the true wealth, I mean, for me, especially in my life, the last couple of years has been, the true wealth has been, you know, I finally did a 10-day meditation retreat, a Vipassana retreat. Yeah, which I've been wanting to do it. I've literally canceled it for 4 years because I was always too busy. And that idea of being able to take 10 days off whenever I wanted, and to just do it without any guilt, without any issues. And actually, my business was still running when I was gone. Like, it's not like things went under. So it's things like that, like taking time off. I make jokes about going to 11 a.m. yoga, even though I actually don't go to 11 a.m. yoga. I go to like 9 a.m. yoga, but still, like the idea that I can create the life that I want, like to me, that's a lot of wealth, right? Or, you know, work really hard for 3 weeks and then take 3 weeks off, you know, or whatever it is, and really just create your own life. And then also the wealth of being able to see changes in people's lives. Like, there's nothing, like the money's nice, but when a client, like I have a client that's like, you know, it's beyond her business now. It's like her whole life has shifted. You know, she's sleeping better. Her anxiety is gone. She's, you know, she's glowing. She actually looks younger, like everything about her life, like her health has gotten better. And to hear that, like, I'm like, that's wealth, like right there is wealth. Like, because then she's going to go and change someone else's life. You know, it's like domino effect. And she's, you know, and then she's getting all this feedback from her clients. So, you know, that's what I see as the true wealth is, you know, and then also like traveling and working and living wherever I want, and being able to move to a new place and do whatever, you know,
Right.
like you, like me. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I just, you know, I had a call with a client this morning, and it just warms my heart and lights me up so much when you see that transformation. And you've also seen the journey of like the challenges as well, because it's not always easy, but it doesn't have to be hard. And I think we're so conditioned to being stuck in the struggle of it as well. So through your journey of having many different businesses and now helping people with their businesses and really connect with the truth of how they want to make a difference in the world, like from what you've learned, the mistakes that you've learned along the way, what is there like a mistake or a challenge that stands out the most that was just like a catalyst for like, yes, I can do this, or I needed to go through that to get to this to really be successful?
Oh God, I have so many. I'm like, which one should I tell? Yeah, I mean, there's beyond. I can look back and just, it was like mistake after mistake after mistake. And, honestly, it was all a big learning lesson. I think, I really believe that we all go through failures to bring us to this better place.
Yeah.
But basically what it came down to is I did it all alone. I compromised my health. Like I actually got pretty sick at one point. I injured myself. I wasted, like people talk about, oh, coaching is so expensive to hire a coach, but I actually wasted probably like 10 times the amount of money. If I had just hired a coach, I would have saved like multiple thousands of dollars, like
great.
5 figures, and then time, time is such a precious resource. And to look back on the amount of time I spent just trying to figure things out on my own, when I probably could have just worked with someone or, really figured out how to balance like what I didn't know by hiring someone out versus what I did know. So there's just so many of those stories, but it really comes down to, learning from people who've done it before and having someone to help you along. I was blessed with a really good mentor, or like a few mentors, but they didn't help me through the day to day. They didn't have phone calls with me once a week. It was like once every few months, and then it was struggle. So yeah, there were a lot of those failures. And honestly, one of my biggest failures was waiting 8 years to start my dream business. Because I was caught up in that same thing that a lot of people are caught up in, like the fears and, oh, I don't know if I can do this. And then there was that day where I changed it from business to project, and I just started making, like, I just went for it. And I was like, oh my God, if I had just done that like years beforehand, like, and that's, again, this is part of my mission. I'm like, no one needs to wait on anything. Like, don't wait.
And that's such a great, again, like that advice is golden. Like that kind of advice is priceless. Like being able to say, I waited 8 years and it just took one kind of shift of something in my head that got me to take the step, is something that it really is priceless. And there's so many experiences that we have that if we just like, oh, if we just know, but you don't know. And that's why, again, with you, like I've invested heavily in coaching and mentoring to help, create my business and step out of my comfort zone and things like that. You can do it on your own. You absolutely can do it on your own, but it takes a lot longer.
Yeah.
It really takes a lot
longer, painful. I swear to God, I could do the financials. It costs you more money in the end to just wing it.
I
figure it out.
Yeah, I agree. So what do you think, like I know this is going to be hard to drill down to one thing, but when it comes to creating a business that you love, when it comes to creating the wealth in your life, and we talked about freedom and money and being able to travel and go on a yoga retreat for 10 days and impact people's lives, what do you think is one thing every woman should know?
Wow. I mean, this is a hard one to get across because it's very experiential, but really, the tapping into the truth of your own intuition and your own heart. And it sounds so woo-woo, like, I am very woo-woo, but I don't come off woo-woo. And, it's hard because I don't want to seem like, oh yeah, just follow your heart and everything will be fine, because it's a blend of taking action. It's the co-creation with the universe, right? But the more you tune into what's really going on inside, because like you, we have very similar backgrounds. I was working in corporate America. I had a great job. I actually liked what I did, but I was being eaten alive. And I knew since I was very young, like I always wanted to start a business, and I always wanted to be my own boss, like since I was a kid. And my brother went and did it when he was 18 years old. He's never worked for anyone else.
Wow.
And someone like me had to go through all these painful processes of finally just listening, like, what is it that you want? What is it that I want? What is it I really want to do? Like, let me try this. And then even just taking the little steps towards it just opened up doors, like new career, new business, multiple businesses. So, if I could get this message out in some way without sounding like, oh, that girl's just talking woo. But really, the key is really just listening to what's going on inside and what you truly want, and like just taking the little actions to act upon it. And then, trust the process, trust in yourself. And really, it's not easy, it's not overnight, but do the work. And it's like, I don't know about you, but there's moments where it's like, oh my God, it's magic. Like it
Yeah.
really, you know, just like signing clients. So I didn't even think, you know, just like random, like people
Yeah.
coming to you out of the blue, like, you know, it's just, it's amazing, you know? So it's like, why not? Why not just try it, trust, listen, and go for it? You have nothing, we only live once, you know?
Yeah. And
Not worth.
we get so sorry, we get so connected from what we want. We can't hear it anymore because other people are telling us, or the marketing, or whatever it is,
Yeah.
or even sometimes our business coach. You know, I've
Yeah.
had coaches that haven't been a good fit as well, but for the most part, I learned from that. But like the really going within and listening of like, what is my truth? What do I really want? What lights me up? What makes me happy? I love that. I love that. Really listening to and honoring what is true for you and forgetting about everything else. And then, like you said, just take that step and trust the process, because the magic shows up all the time. Sometimes we totally miss it,
Mm-hmm.
but it
Mm-hmm.
continues to show up. And also surround yourself with the right people that are going to lift you higher. That's what I love about
Yeah.
sisterhood and community, connecting with your
Yeah.
own uniqueness, all that sort of stuff. And the true purpose, and I love that your business is so surrounded by, all encompasses around
Mm-hmm.
that, is the truth of everything, because your purpose may be very different to someone else's, and that's fine. But
Mm-hmm.
when you're on that path, it's just, there's no looking back. There is
Yeah.
no looking back.
Exactly. And I don't want it back. I mean, you know, it's very much like you, and probably around the same time frame. It got to a point where I was like, wait, why am I living if I'm just always unhappy at my job? And everybody knows this. We spend a majority of our life working. Like it's a huge part of our life. Like, so why wouldn't you want to do something that lights you up, that gets you out of bed, that energizes you, that makes you really like, I mean, I've never felt more alive. Like every day it's like, it gets greater and greater. And I love what you said about surrounding yourself with the right people, because that's something I actually just spoke about this yesterday. I was like, you know what? Haters are going to hate. There's always going to be the people that aren't really at your, you know, aren't aligned with you in that moment. And you just, it's fine. You attract in better people, you know, you surround yourself with people that are doing similar things. So you just lift up and keep going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Because we're so inclined to listen to what other people says and go towards the negative as well, and go into that deep, dark spiral. And when you've got someone that can quickly lift you up, or listen to a podcast, or listen to something like this, it can change things dramatically.
Yes.
So throughout your career, and it can be corporate, and even when you've had your multiple businesses as well, like who would you say has been your biggest influence?
Oh gosh. That one's easy. It's my friend Tom. Like my hair is everywhere. My friend Tom, he's a good friend of mine. He's been a mentor since I met him about 10 years ago. He's the founder of a pretty big, you know, you could call it like a tech company, but it's like tech healthcare. And he's now on I can't even count. He's on his fourth company. His very first company went public.
Wow.
One company is, I guess it's like going public, or I can't even keep count, you know. And then he's now launching like even a bigger company. And then he has this fourth business that I helped launch. Like I'm a part of, I don't get involved anymore, but I have a piece of it. But being around someone like him has been amazing. And it's incredible. Like he's has that entrepreneur mindset where he was the first person to teach me like, hey, if something goes wrong, or if, you know, haters hate, or if someone doesn't buy or whatever, you just get over it and move on. Get over it and move on. Like he doesn't get upset about anything. Like he just goes and goes and goes, and is always connected to his larger vision, which is like literally changing the planet. And he's actually pretty much doing it. So when I've been around that so long, that I've seen how he doesn't get upset about the things that, like, you know, the rest of us would probably get upset by, like a setback, or a failed, you know, something failed, or there's a launch, or like bad press or something. He's just like, whatever, and just keeps going.
Yeah, I think what I hear from that is someone, especially someone that's created 4 businesses, very successful businesses, that he doesn't take anything personally.
Yeah.
Even the so-called failures, because I don't believe in failure. Everything is
Yeah.
leading you to your success because you learn from it. But whether it's somebody saying something about you or to you, or bad press, like you said, or something that's not working out in the way that you really wanted it to, not taking it personally and knowing that there's light at the end of the tunnel, which is such a journey to be on. And I think it is a really good success muscle to build. That's a good mentor to have.
That and, you know, the notion of perfection, because so many people get caught up in this. And, you know, thank God I worked in tech startups for a while, and they're just like, you know what, get it out fast. And then we change it. You know, it's like, first of all, there is no such thing as perfection. So you have to just let go of that.
Yeah.
And it's that idea of like, you know what, putting something out there now is better than trying to perfect it for 5 years, and then it takes 5 years to get it out. And then,
totally.
You know, so it's just been amazing to have a mentor like that, you know. But the one thing I say is, even having that mentor, like I would have meetings with him or we'd hang out, but I wasn't able to have a coaching call with him once a week. You know, it's not like he was guiding me along. You know, and meeting with him was very hard because he had super high expectations. Like, you know, it wasn't coaching at all. That's why looking back, I'm like, well, if I'd had a coach for those first 2 years, things would have been way different. Lesson learned.
Yeah, lesson learned. And I'm sure you learned a ton from not having a coach that you wouldn't look back on or regret at all.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Wow. No regrets.
So I know that you have an amazing free gift for our watchers and listeners. So can you share that with us?
Yes. It's a 3-part video and a follow-along guidebook. And it's called My Simple Step-by-Step Process to Release Your Fears, Stop Procrastination, and Start Taking Action to Build Your Dream Business Now. And it's a little like, I have this, like I said, I'm very woo-woo and I have the soft side, but I'm also like a type A New Yorker. And one of my biggest beefs in, you know, just with a lot of the clients and people I work with are watching people get stuck and procrastinate and just staying in that fear. And I'm like, you know what? No, there's a way to let go of it, and there's a way to release it and actually just start getting into action. So these videos and the guidebook give little steps. And the best part is they cost you no money. So it's not like you have to put in thousands of dollars to actually acting on this. So it's great. And it actually works. And I've done it, you know, I say this on the website, but I've used this not only for my businesses, but I use it for all my personal goals too. Like,
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that. So everybody, you need to make sure you download that, get your hands on it. It'll help you with every facet of your life and business. And so I have one last question for you. What makes you dance? It doesn't have to just be music. What makes you happy? What makes you giddy? What makes you so excited that just it always gets you there?
Oh my God, so much. Because pretty much my whole life is like, just one big exciting dance party. And I do dance a lot, so that helps. You know, I do get excited about the state of the world, you know, even though sometimes it's crazy, you know, we have Trump as president and things like that. But generally, probably because like you, I'm surrounded by all these amazing people doing great things in the world. So being surrounded by, you know, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of high vibe spiritual folk, going to a women's retreat this weekend, you know, just being around that energy, I'm like, oh my God, we are actually changing the world. Like, this is amazing. But besides that, you know, I love being out in nature. I love being around people. I love traveling. And, you know, of course, sitting and meditating actually makes me dance. So the calm times too.
Yeah, the quiet times.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm most excited about like this, like what you're doing right now to me is so important. You know, it's like reaching more people, collaborating together, collaborating to help others. And then every person that watches this is truly affected, and then they can help more people and they can help more people. And it's, you know, again, it's like very big picture, like domino effect. Like, hey guys, we need to change this planet. Like, this planet needs uplifting, or, you know, we're taking it to the next level. And how much more exciting could that be? Like,
yeah, absolutely. I really firmly believe, like, for me, it's when you stand in your own uniqueness, when you really love who you are and what you stand for, and you're sharing that with the world through the purpose work that you do, or who you are, what you stand for, whatever it is, when you're shining your light, and as corny as this sounds and maybe a little woo-woo, but when you're shining your light, it gives others hope, it gives others inspiration, it allows them to do the same thing. And you're right, the domino effect just goes on and on and on and on. And if you think about anyone that you love or admire, any concert that you've been to, or show, or theatre production, and you're watching someone up on that stage, or whoever it is, and they're inspiring you, it just lifts you up to those higher levels. So the more of us, like you and I, and the other women that I'm interviewing over this series, that just keep sharing their message, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it, the more we can help push each other through and really get to that next level and change the world. So I'm 100% with you on that. Thank you, Beth, so much.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate this. I love this work you're doing. It's so important, and I'm so glad you're talking about this.
Ditto. I could talk about it all day long. So go back to your work. I hope you get your camera working on your...
I know. I'm glad the phone worked out, I think.
The phone worked out. And the great thing is you get to go and buy a new computer.
Oh, I know. It's time for that anyways, right?
Awesome. All right. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thanks for having me.